I didn't want to go to work that night. It felt like the town itself was trying to cover something up. When I walked into the station, the sheriff was standing by the map, sticking a pin into the third disappearance point. 3 missing in 2 weeks. No witnesses, no leads, no calls for help. The only thing they had in common was that they all disappeared near the Nahi Trail. Carter approached me, nodded at the map, and quietly said, "I don't believe these are just people." I chuckled. Back then, I thought he was just tired. Now I understand. He felt what I felt. The approaching darkness. We were driving along a deserted road. The headlights cut through the darkness, but the light seemed to vanish into thin air. The city had long since been left behind, and only the dusty highway stretched ahead, like a narrow corridor between 2 worlds. Carter turned on the radio. The only noise was noise, like someone breathing into a microphone. "Do you hear that?" he asked. I just nodded. The noise was too alive. We stopped at the entrance to the trail. The trees here were old and twisted, as if they stared at us with empty sockets. The moonlight barely touched the ground, sinking deep into the forest like a bottomless well. The locals always said strange things about this trail. Something about ancient creatures, about shadows that walk at night, about not being allowed to speak your name here. Back then, I thought they were just legends. Now, I don't even want to remember.
We found tracks almost immediately. Long. Abnormally long. The toes left strange, crooked marks, as if someone had been dragging their feet around without understanding how to use them. "That's not human," Carter muttered. I wanted to protest, but deep down, I already knew he was right.
The tracks suddenly stopped, as if someone had simply vanished into thin air. And then, about 6 meters away, they continued again. A jump? I asked myself. No one jumps like that. A woman's voice echoed through the forest, so sharply that I flinched. The cry was long and broken, as if someone was trying to call for help but didn't understand the sound of real emotion. "Is that Christy?" Carter asked. She was one of the missing. But something about her voice was wrong, as if someone was trying to imitate her. We saw a silhouette between the trees. The figure stood motionless, facing us. But the body seemed to sway slightly, as if it couldn't figure out how to maintain its balance. I raised the flashlight and regretted it. When the light fell on his face, I knew I'd never sleep well again. It was a human face, but as if someone had sculpted it from memory. The nose was too low. The eyes were slightly larger than normal. The mouth was too long. Carter said quietly, "It's not her." I couldn't answer. The creature opened its mouth, wide, impossibly wide, and let out that same woman's scream. But now that we saw its face, it wasn't a scream, but a mockery of it. Carter raised his weapon. "Get back!" he shouted. Shots rang out. The creature jerked and began to change shape. Bones cracked, its back arched, its head turned almost completely backward. It wasn't changing into any specific creature. It was trying to find the right shape. We ran. I heard it moving, short, sharp bursts, as if its body wasn't used to movement. The forest grew denser, darker. When I looked back, I saw its gait, uneven, predatory, like that of an animal that should never exist.
We rushed into the car. I slammed the door. And at that moment, the creature struck the glass. It cracked, but didn't shatter. In the headlights, it stood right in front of us. The figure trembled, as if dozens of forms were struggling within it at once.
And then it spoke, in my voice. Precisely. Too precisely. "Don't come back," it whispered. "Don't look for them." Carter turned on the siren, but the creature simply vanished into the darkness as if it had vanished into thin air. No one at the station believed us. The sheriff said we were tired, that the screams could have been a coyote, and the silhouette a trick of the light. But I saw him avoid looking me in the eye. He knew the legends better than we did. The case was closed. The missing persons were written off as accidents. But every night I hear a quiet, irregular whisper in the darkness. Sometimes it's my own voice. I tell myself it's all stress, fatigue, hallucinations. But last night, when I went out to the car, there were fresh tracks in the dust by the hood. Too long. Too familiar. And next to them, a barely visible inscription, as if scratched by a fingernail. I'm near. I know one thing. We didn't find it. It found us.